Vinny Tortorich here. Hey man, if you're a fan of Izzy, you might be a fan of me too. I'm the guy that gets people to lose a lot of weight. I have something free for you guys. This is no clickbait. Just go to VinnyTortorich.com and there's a big banner. It's a free PDF, how to lose weight. It's an intro guide to NSNG at VinnyTortorich.com. Go check it out exclusively for anyone who listens to Izzy Presley. Thank you.
Replay Guitar Exchange is your premier independent guitar store. Being independent is good. With all of the major brands, including new, vintage, and pre-owned, you can find the guitar, bass, amp, or accessory you are dreaming of. From vintage to the newest models, Replay Guitar Exchange can help you find that perfect piece. They have industry veteran expert staff, all players like you down to the owner. You aren't just getting a great guitar, you're getting the Replay difference. Find them online at replayguitar.com and find your dream guitar today.
Hey ladies, Sass Pants Designs will take that rock shirt that everyone has and make it your own in a flattering, sassy, and simple way. There are one-of-a-kind tank tops, lace-up tees, and tube top dresses already in stock. Check out the online store at sasspantsdesigns.com and like Sass Pants Designs on Facebook for special offers and custom orders. That's sasspantsdesigns.com, sasspantsdesigns.com. Sass Pants will make you the envy of the party.
Rockwood Saloon Authentic Apparel takes rock and roll fashion to a new level with their tees and tanks for men and women. They also make custom shirts, jackets, vests, pants, hoodies, beanies, and more. The Rockwood Graphics Department can design anything from your logo, t-shirt design, promo posters, band swag, and printed at great prices. From tour shirts and custom stage gear to killer threads for the street to the stage, Rockwood Saloon has it all. Rockwood Saloon, authentic rock and roll apparel for stage and street. World Tour tested for quality, comfort, style, and durability. Check them out at www.rockwoodsaloon.com. That's rockwoodsaloon.com.
Would I listen to Izzy Presley? Ooh, not if he was the last disc jockey on earth, honey.
The unscripted, uncensored, loose cannon of commentary.
Why did you say that? Why? Why? You come out with stink like that? Poop. Your poop mouth. Poop out of your mouth.
See, son? Old legends never die. They just lose weight.
Like a legend and an out-of-work bum look a lot alike, Daddy.
I've got a midget friend, an albino friend, and another friend who thinks Lord of the Rings is real. Together we call ourselves the Unfuckables.
Quinton is in. Let the fun begin.
Body touch.
God, you're an asshole, man.
Hello, Hollywood! Hello, world! Hello, my loyal minions! It is good to see you, and it's always good to be seen. Happy Friday! It's Good Friday. I should have worked today. I forgot that nobody was at work today, so there would have been no goddamn traffic, and I could have made some money today, but no! No, Izzy slept in till 2 o'clock. Well, 1 o'clock. I woke up for Days of Our Lives because I have priorities. I had a very beautiful gal say, hey, let's go hiking. I can't because I sleep till 1, get out of bed at 2, and then I have to do a show at 5. No time for hiking, Dick. That's all right, man. I will I will look into that. We'll talk about that, Dick. Hope everybody's ready for a good weekend. I know I'm a weekend of work, and then I'm taking Easter off, goddammit. I usually work every goddamn holiday. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. But not this weekend. I'm doing a little soiree. I'm cooking some Jamaican chicken, man. Doing it right, man. Because I love me some Jamaican. The brown stew chicken, man. Yeah, man, the brown stew. On the last Monsters of Rock cruise, we went to Jamaica. And I went exploring as far as I felt like it was safe to. Because, you know, in Jamaica, they always say stay close to the port or stay close to your resort. And don't leave. And I went exploring for brown stew chicken. I could not find anybody. Some guy took me to a place where he thought there was brown stew chicken. There was not. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't want jerk. I've had jerk so many goddamn times. I could not find any brown stew chicken, man. And then I asked somebody like, no, man, you got to go downtown for that. I'm like, no, I do not need to go downtown. Do not need to go downtown. So I did not. And I got myself some jerk chicken in Jamaica. And I will say this. After having jerk chicken in Jamaica and one of those Jamaican patties in Jamaica fresh, I will never, ever, it's for all you Jericho fans, eat jerk chicken or a Jamaican patty in the United States ever again, because it was something that, wow, it was unbelievable. And anytime you get anything that says jerk chicken in the United States, it doesn't taste anything like the actual jerk chicken you get in Jamaica. But I will say this. My stepdad, who is Jamaican, told me that my brown stew chicken tastes just like at home. So thank you, Devin, for training me and looking over my shoulder and teach me how to make that shit right. So that's my Easter dinner. I'm going to make some brown stew chicken, man. It is going to be fucking glorious. I found this out the other night, too. And pardon me while I open a LaCroix water, because I have to work tonight, so there's no drinking. Still on NSNG, baby. Thank you, Vinny Tortorich. And I feel great. No sugars, no grains, except I had a slice of pizza last night. I'm sorry, it happens. Thin crust, though. At least it was thin crust. But I found out, I drove a couple black gals, and one of them was talking about gingers. And she's like, I don't mean to be racist here. I'm like, nothing's racist in my car. Say what you got to say. She's like, well, I heard it was a study that gingers have the same bone structure as black people. I'm like, wow, that's interesting. And then it hit me, and I said this, and she laughed her ass off. I'm like, well, I guess that I don't have to thank my Jamaican stepdad for my cock anymore. Did everybody get it who's going to get it? Okay. Let's move on. Let us move on. Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you, Pat Fontaine. Make sure you hit up all the social media. At Real Izzy Presley, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And the show page, which is another effing podcast. I did this show on Wednesday under a brand new show via Spreaker called the Izzy Presley Show, which this is. But I noticed that it didn't get uploaded to iTunes. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes if you listen to this on iTunes after the fact. And I'm like, all right, well, that's weird. I only have 25 listens and 0 downloads. So I moved it back over to another effing podcast, and then got like 100 downloads in a day or something like that. So until I figure that out, I don't know. I do not know if if you have to subscribe to the Izzy Presley Show now on iTunes, or if I should just keep it under another effing podcast as the Izzy Presley Show, which I think I'm going to do because I already have that built-in crowd. And no need, for people to have to subscribe to another show. And I can just do this. And I am going to be doing this 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that is California time, Los Angeles time, live, of course, so I can get you guys' instant feedback and all that stuff. But we'll see how long the 3 days a week lasts, because I have like 245 hours left on my plan for the year. So 4 hours a week instead of 2 hours a week. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how much the next plan is up. So I'm already spending $20 a month on this plan, and I make $0 doing this. That's why I encourage you guys to buy T-shirts, to donate, to support the sponsors. Izzy, you have sponsors. Why don't you make money? It's a long story we're not going to get into. Trade deals, folks. Trade deals. Lots of free shit. No money, but free shit. And I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. Stage clothes, a beater head, beater amplification, guitars. Trust me. It's worth it. Jacobus, go fuck yourself. Welcome, you scumbag. It's good to see us. Scotty, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Dick Chasen, welcome for the time that you are here. Of course, you just jerked off. Scotty, I'm proud of you. The Leafs are playing the Bruins right now, and you are listening to me. So thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that really well. And I'm going to say this because, of course, the big story of the day is, what's this broad's lips? It's not Pelosi, was it? Trump, impeachment. That's not going to happen. Oh, Elizabeth Warren. She's old and nuts. But I'm just going to say this. No obstruction. No collusion.
Yeah.
No obstruction. No collusion.
Yeah.
No obstruction. No collusion.
Yeah.
And now, yes, I'm sorry to get political. What can I say? But now it's like, okay, we didn't get him on this. Let's use that fine comb and find anything that we can. Instead of doing our job and trying to make this country better and working with the other side, both sides, I must say that, work together and just do your goddamn jobs. All they've been doing for the past 2 years is trying to get Trump out of office because he is a big old orange meanie. Just do your goddamn jobs. That's it. It's like in Spaceballs. Comb the desert. Man, we ain't found shit. That's all it is, over and over and over. And Jacobus, it's not. Jacobus says it's never going to stop. It's not. It's not. That's unfortunate. Not just for the president, not just for politics, but for the country. It's like, just do your goddamn jobs and work together and make it better. See, yeah, and this is exactly what I'm saying, Jeff. Wow, you've actually said something smart. Thank you, Jacobus. Thank you, Jacobus. Can you imagine if they stopped trying to do everything to discredit him and work with him, how much they could get done? I agree. And this is the thing. This is the thing that the left doesn't understand about Trump. He's not full-blown righty. He leans a little bit more to the left than he does to the right. But now they have to go so extreme to the left to make him look like they want to make him look. And that's all it is. That's all there is to it. That is really all there is to it. Just agreed. Just work together. And you can't argue with what he's done. Just let him do his goddamn job because he is doing a goddamn great job. That is all I can say. All right, let's move on to funner stuff. So, 3 sides of the coin. My good friends over at 3 Sides of the Coin, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to discredit these guys because I really enjoy these guys and I enjoy going on the show, but they like to rip on me from time to time. It's kind of what they do. Izzy's not here, let's rip on him. Even though every time I'm on the show, ratings are through the roof. Because their fans love me. And Presley equals ratings, unless it's my goddamn show. Oh, wait, Pat Fontaine?
Yeah.
Thank you. Unless it's my show. I do other people's shows and their ratings are amazing. I do my show. We've heard enough, Izzy. Whatever. I don't care. I still have fun doing it. And that is all that matters. So they took some liberties on me this weekend. They gave me a good ribbon. Not like a ribbon where you wrap a present, but a ribbon, in wrestling terms. They shot on me. They did a shoot on me. Jacobus, get your mind out of the gutter because that has nothing to do with jism. Yeah, they tore into me a little bit, and I would like to rebut. But first, let us take a good listen. Let us take a good listen to what they had to say.
Our world traveler, Ed, welcome back.
Thank you.
What are you talking about? He's here every week.
Always the three of us.
He wasn't here last week.
Do I look like I would eat pasta from 7-Eleven? No.
All right, just because, as we've said, that's the gift that keeps on giving.
It will forever.
I don't know if you saw, but Izzy made an Instagram post today where he's standing outside of a Mexican restaurant, and he goes, they take only cash, and this is the front door. And the front door is basically a steel cage door. I'm just like, dude, that's not even up there with 7-Eleven when it comes to quality. I don't know what you're walking into and if they're going to even let you out.
Remember when we saw him in Vegas and he was at the buffet drinking dollar beers and we actually were dumb enough to walk downwind from him for a couple of blocks?
Do you remember what he said he did to raise money to go to Vegas?
Blowjobs?
No.
$20.
He would do like online poker, online gambling, and the payout would be like, if you win so many times, they'll eventually comp you a free room and give you a free buffet somewhere. So that's how he paid for his trip to Vegas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's Izzy.
I tell you what, though, you got to give the guy credit for doing shit his way, though. I mean,
yeah.
Hats off, man. Hats off.
He's not embarrassed.
No, he's not. He embraces it, but it's like just look at his Facebook post, and you can totally tell why there's like no women anywhere near him.
Why he only dreams about boobs.
Yeah, he's like in the
really
friend zone. Yeah, it's almost like being on the no-fly list. He's in the friend zone.
He is not a catch for anybody.
No.
Sorry,
really like
we love you, Izzy, but we're calling it as we see it.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious.
All right, so
can't even date with a porn star.
He what?
Can't even get a date with a porn star.
That is bad.
All right. First of all, let's address this porn star thing, Mr. Summers. As you're looking down at me with your huge nose, it's like a ski slope. You look, and I've said this before, you look like Busey after the accident. Not before the accident. You look like Gary Busey after the accident. But the porn star thing, here's the thing. And I was going to shoot on these guys and, rip on them. But they're just too goddamn easy to rip on because all they do is sit there behind their rose-colored glasses and kiss Gene and Paul's ass. That's all they do every week. It's a kiss-based podcast if you guys aren't familiar. And they do a great job. Don't get me wrong. But it's like Gene and Paul can do no wrong. Tommy and Eric are the real Catman and Spaceman. That's all they do. That's all they talk about. And all they do is suck Gene and Paul's cocks. Which they absolutely have the right to do because Kiss fans are fucking nuts. I know. I am one. But they look through their rose-colored glasses. Everything is fine. Everything is perfect in Kiss world. Paul Stanley's voice is fine. It doesn't matter. But this porn star thing. Okay, we're going to talk about the porn star thing first. I did go on a date with a porn star. And when I had her on the morning show a couple months ago, when I was still doing Monsters of Rock Radio, the morning show, and we had her on all morning long, and it was fun. It was a blast. Aiden's a good friend of mine, and we went on a date. And she said that she had a great time. And I asked her point blank, live on the air, would you like to go out again? And she said yes. So Tommy Summers, suck it. He can't even get a date with the porn star. Look, I have a persona. Self-deprecation is part of my persona. It's all for the humor and entertainment value. You should see the chick I boned last month. She was gorgeous. You should see this other chick that wants to bone me. And she would love, believe it or not, she wants to. She actually said this. I want to come and give you head underneath the desk while you're doing a podcast sometime. So there. Suck it. Suck it. The Vegas thing, I was strapped. I was strapped. What can I say? And I do play this game on Facebook. It's not online poker. It's a slot. It's a slot game that you play on Facebook. It's called My Vegas Slots, and you just play it. It's free, and you rack up enough points and you cash it in for free shit in Vegas. Why not cash it in for a free room and a free buffet every time I go? Save a little money. I'm not a big time realtor. I don't own a construction company. I don't. Brandvold, whatever the fuck you do. I don't do any of that shit. I drive Lyft to support my life while I'm trying to support my entertainment career. So God forbid I cash in on a free room every time I go to Vegas. You would too. Save a little money. Save a little money. And then these jackasses, and I say that lightheartedly, of course, these jackasses, I go meet them at the Hard Rock where they were staying and sit down as they're eating, and they don't even offer to buy me lunch. Drove all the way to Vegas to do their show. And these cockknockers wouldn't even buy me lunch. See how they are? See? I mean, I love these guys to death. Don't get me wrong. All we do is rip on them. And Brandvold, look, I know your shtick. I know you play the heel. I know you like stirring the pot. But the dirt, he said that Doc didn't manage Kiss before Motley Crue. Oh, darn. A biopic wasn't historically correct. Big fucking deal. Big fucking deal. And the 7-Eleven pasta thing, they just won't let up and let stop. It's, come on. Get over it. It's already old. It is older than The Rock's shtick. And it's only been like 2 weeks. Hey, 7-Eleven having a deal on pizza? Oh, geez, I'm sorry. I don't make the kind of money that you guys make. Sometimes you have to bite the bullet and buy a fucking slice of pizza for $1 at 7-Eleven, which when it is warm, when it is fresh, it is edible. It is absolutely edible. And I can't rip on Mark because I love Mark. Mark is great. Yes, he kind of reminds me at times of the comic book store guy on The Simpsons. But I love Mark. And Mark's the only one that stood up for me, of course. God bless Mark Cicchini. And we agree on a lot of things. We'll just leave it at that. But the 7-Eleven thing, and I am going to say this, and I will say this until I goddamn die. That fucking pasta they have at 7-Eleven is delicious. It is absolutely delicious. Oh, it's from 7-Eleven. It can't be good. Go fuck yourself. The shit is goddamn delicious. And anytime any of you are out here, I will take you to 7-Eleven. This goes for everybody, including the guys on three sides of the coin. And I will buy you the pasta. It's $5. It's not like it's like, $1. And it doesn't come off the roller or anything like that. It's in the deli section at 7-Eleven. The shit is goddamn delicious. It is goddamn delicious. And I will go with that until the day I die. I don't eat it anymore because I am NSNG. No sugar, no grain. That means no pasta, which sucks. I love pasta. I love it. I love fettuccine Alfredo. I love spaghetti, ravioli. Oh, I'm getting a boner just thinking about it. But that shit is goddamn delicious. Goddamn delicious. And now it's a shtick. It's a joke on the show. But, they're not professionals. They're just a bunch of schmucks to sit around and talk about Kiss. And they do it very well. But they're not professionals. They're not writers. They just talk about Kiss and, look through their rose-colored glasses. Which is fine. They have that absolute right. And that's the beauty thing, is you can disagree on stuff. And I go on that show and I disagree with them all the time, and we have a great conversation about it. They can get elitist, but that's how they are. Now, what they started out with. The Mexican place I went to. The Instagram post was a picture of me in front of a Mexican place on Victory Boulevard in Van Nuys. And the place said cash only. And it had a white door that was metal. And it was like a gate type thing. And the Instagram post said, and I was dead serious about this, is, oh God, this place is going to be good. And it was. Because this is the thing that, especially these guys don't realize. Brandvold should know this, living in Los Angeles. Living in California. He lives up in the Bay Area. Brandvold should know this. If a place is cash only, and it looks run down, and it looks shitty, you know it is going to be goddamn good. Those are the best places. Those are the absolute best places. And I'm sure, Jacobus, you see this in Florida all the time, too. You go into a place, it looks shady, and it's cash only, you know goddamn well that place is going to be good. And it was. And it was authentic, and it was amazing. And it was absolutely amazing. But that brings me to my point that I was going to talk about on Wednesday, but I got off on other tangents. Why I will never eat a food truck or a taco stand again. It's not because they're bad. I mean, the shit is delicious. But my problem with food trucks, especially here in Los Angeles, it might be different around the country, depending on where you are in the country, the size of your city, yada, yada, yada. I'll get to this back in a second. Jacoba says, yes, I agree 1,000%. And when I lived in New York, well, actually, Staten Island, it was the same thing. Small mom and pop shop that only took cash. They were right off the boat with the most amazing food. Abso-fucking-lutely. Go to Koreatown. Go to the places here in Los Angeles. Koreatown, if you go east of the 10, around Alhambra, fresh off the boat. And that shit is so goddamn good. So goddamn good. And that's the Korean, the Thai, the Chinese, Japanese, all that stuff. Fucking amazing. But back to my point of why I will no longer. Sorry, that buzz was annoying me. Had to turn off the fridge. Why I will no longer eat taco trucks or taco stands. As good as they are. Well, taco trucks is a little bit deeper. But my problem is, and especially in Los Angeles, these chefs and these restaurant owners, and I'm not talking about the chains, because the chains have corporate money behind them, yada, yada, yada. But the chefs and the restaurant owners put their life savings, work their ass off for their entire lives to get a brick and mortar shop. And it costs them a fuck ton of money. There's a reason restaurants and even chain restaurants don't want to open up in Los Angeles. Because it is goddamn expensive and they have to jump through hoops and construction hoops. And if you listen to Corolla and he talks about the construction hoops in Los Angeles, it is fucking insane. They fucking tax you to the hilt and they put a big giant cock in your ass and make it nearly impossible. So these chefs and these restaurant owners bust their ass, working their way up, saving their money, and they finally get a loan to get a brick and mortar place in Los Angeles and open up, and it is a competition like you would not believe. And then you get some fucking schlub that puts up a table on the side of the street, less than a block from where these restaurants are, and starts selling tacos. It's unregulated. Apparently, they're going to need they're going to need some kind of permit, but these permits are not the price of what it costs to open a fucking restaurant. So you're fucking the restaurants. Look, it's different. If it's 3 o'clock in the morning and the only thing nearly around you is a taco truck that's open and I'm starving, yeah, maybe I will get a fucking get a burrito from a taco truck. When there's nothing around and nothing is open but that. But the problem is, and if you drive around Los Angeles, and if I'm going to say this too, if you are thinking of voting for anybody in this next election that comes from California, come here. Let me take you on a tour. Let me take you on a tour and show you why you should not vote for any representative running for president from the state of California. Homeless everywhere. Food stands everywhere. It literally looks like fucking Tijuana. It is fucking bad. And it sucks because those goddamn street hot dogs are amazing, wrapped in bacon with onions and peppers. Oh, they're so fucking good. But I won't do it anymore out of respect for the restaurants. You wonder why it's so goddamn expensive to eat out here. And it is expensive to eat out here. I was talking to Ricky Rackman on the phone the other day, and he says, like, dude, you can't go alone. You can't go out and get yourself even a cheap dinner that doesn't come up costing at least $20. That's why these places are so goddamn popular. That's why people wait in line for these taco stands and food trucks. But the food trucks are just getting just as expensive as restaurants. That kind of defeats the point. And then these goddamn trucks, instead of being, mobile, they park at the exact same place every day. There are some trucks that you follow them on Twitter to find out where they're going to be. But a majority of the trucks, you know exactly where they're going to be every single day at the exact same place. And a lot of those places are right across the street from restaurants. Right down the block. There's one of my favorite taco trucks is in Highland Park. The best asada that I've had from a taco truck. And literally there's a Mexican restaurant right across the street from it. And down the block, there's like 10 of them. It's not fair. I don't know what food trucks pay and pay for permits. But all they're doing is fucking taking money away from the restaurants who've worked their asses off for their entire lives to have these restaurants. It really annoys the hell out of me. Am I wrong? Am I bad for feeling like this? I don't think I'm wrong. I would love to sit down and talk to a restaurant owner about this. And I've been planning to have the guys from Grill 'Em All on for like 5 years. But now I don't live in Highland Park anymore, right by where, close to where Grill 'Em All is in Alhambra, which started out as a food truck and they won the Great Food Truck Race, but now they have a brick and mortar and got out of the food truck business. I would love to sit down and have a conversation about this. I just don't think it's fair. But that's capitalism. That's one of the things that makes this country great. It's free trade. Free is capitalism. That's why this country has survived as long as it has. You have the right to do that. But as a consumer, I have the right to not. I have the right to try to support restaurants. And people that have busted their ass for their entire lives to make a living, to own their own place, which is a pipe dream in Los Angeles. So anybody that owns their own restaurant in Los Angeles, God bless you. God bless you. Because it is so goddamn tough. And there's a lot of places also where you will see like there's a couple streets in Hollywood where you'll see it where it says no street vending, and God bless them for doing that. Scotty says, brother, I worked in the restaurant industry for over 20 years and worked for 2 corporate office of chains up here. I know how you feel. See, so I'm not off base on this. I'm really not. And look, anybody that's going out to try to make a buck, I mean, God bless you, but still, I don't think it's fair. It's like you drive around and there's as many taco stands now as there are fucking homeless. Okay, maybe not that many. But it's ridiculous. I mean, I've seriously thought about saying, well, fuck it. I'll just go get a table and a grill and go make hamburgers. Go sell hamburgers. And put it like, a block from a restaurant. Why not? Everybody else is doing it. Probably make more than I would driving fucking Lyft. I can tell you that much. Hey, it's straight cash. How is it taxed? How is it taxed? Brick and mortar place that's cash only, that's a different story. I understand the brick and mortar place that's cash only. Why? Because credit card transactions, debit card transactions add up. I stopped and got gas, and guy's like, did you want cash back? I'm like, no. He's like, all right, good. You saved us 50 cents. It was like 50 cents a transaction. 35 cents a transaction, something like that. When you go to Arco out here, if you use your debit card, they automatically charge you 35 cents more for the transaction fee. So I get brick and mortar places being cash only. I understand that because, look, if you you have 100 customers in one day and all those 100 customers use a card, that shit adds up. It really, really does. You do the math. You do the math. So that's why I will no longer be patroning food trucks and taco stands or those delicious, delicious, delicious street dogs. It may be different if I'm at a place where that's all there is. You know, you go to one of those food truck rallies, that's a little bit different. It's in a park. That's a little bit different. Or if you go to, like at NAM, you go to NAM and outside the thing in their little courtyard, they have like 3 or 4 food trucks, 5 food trucks, something like that, next to the outdoor stage and all that stuff. Then you know what? Then I'll patron a food truck. But unless there's nothing else open. And I'm even mad when they're in front of a 7-Eleven because they're selling food too. Is that fair to a 7-Eleven? No, it's not. Granted, the food is a lot different and not to the quality except for that delicious pasta. So there. That's my take. That's my take on the food trucks. And I'm going to stick to it. Well, plus now, since I'm NSNG, it's going to be, they have really nothing for me. Oh, man, it's tough. But it's going great. It's going great. Hey, first half of the show brought to you by Beater Amplification. That's BEETER. BeaterAmplification.com. 100 watts of testicular fortitude. You got 3 channels. One of those old school Metallica channels. You got one of the old school AC/DC channels. And you got that old school Fender Clean channel. They are fucking great. Hand-wired, hand-built tube. Pull 2 tubes. You have a 50 water. It's fucking awesome. Check those guys out. We're going to take a short little break and we'll come right back. Come right back and talk about the Montreal screw job and this new show on Vice, which I've been fucking dove into. called The Dark Side of the Ring. And that's why I wanted to talk about this Montreal Screwjob, because the one this week was Wednesday night, and it was all about Bret Hart and the Montreal Screwjob. So we'll be right back. It is another effing podcast. Izzy Presley Show, baby.
RockstarLeatherworks.com is your home for badass rock and roll gear. Featuring 100% handmade leather bands, watches, cuffs, bracelets, and more, Rockstar Leatherworks has something for everybody. Whether you are going to the show or you are in it, you can find something to fit your needs. Choose from a variety of designs or create your own masterpiece. Their bands and watches are second to none. They also ship internationally. Who needs a stage to be a rock star? Check out RockstarLeatherworks.com.
Retro Arcade brings Minnesota and surrounding areas arcade games from the days gone by. All of those great games from pizza joints and arcades are available in cocktail units and custom machines. Dozens of favorites from your youth in one machine to complete your game room or man cave. Retro Arcade also sells and services your favorite pinball machines. Find them at facebook.com/80arcade. That's facebook.com/80arcade. Retro Arcade. Your youth is just one click away.
If you need to promote your band or business, or just want to stylize, personalize, or customize your ride, check out vid-decals.com. Want to create and customize your own stickers representing your band, or make your own bumper sticker? Vid Decals can do it. All stickers are printed on quality vinyl and can be placed on any flat surface. Stickers are an affordable way to promote your band or business. Go to vid-decals.com to get started. That's vid-decals.com. vid-decals.com.
Hey, what's happening? This is Tracy Morgan. I'm a black dude. You listen to one of my favorite white people. It's Izzy Presley on another effing podcast. It's Izzy Presley on another fucking podcast. I just spoke with a lisp. That's crazy.
Oh, Craig Gass. I still think his Tom Arnold one is the best. And next time I'm going to have to ask him to record one as Kinnison and send it to me, because that would be fucking amazing. That would be amazing. So, second half of the show brought to you by John Palumbo Design. We love us some John Palumbo here at Another Effin' Podcast and the Izzy Presley Show. You need a band logo, you need a website, you need anything. Hit up my good buddy John Palumbo at John Palumbo Design and A&P Productions. A&P Laser. That's right. If you are in the upper Midwest and you're going to a gun show in Minnesota somewhere, there's a good chance you are going to run into the great people at AP Laser. Laser engraving, folks. They are damn good. Check them out, aplaser.com. They do ship worldwide, and they do more than just guns. You got a wedding come up. You got an anniversary. Hey, Mother's Day is coming up. Mother's Day is coming up in just, less than a month. You can get something super nice for your mom, laser engraved, from AP Laser. Hit them up. Please support the sponsors. Absolutely, please support the sponsors. Because this is the deal. Look, if you guys buy stuff from the sponsors and you tell them that Izzy sent you, and they know that you're listening, they start making money. Izzy starts making money. You rub the back that rubs your balls, you see how it goes. That's how it works. You rub backs, they rub your balls. Or just, send you money. Pay for stuff. Just support the sponsors. So, there's this new series on Vice TV, and if you go to their website, where the hell is it? Where did I put it? No, that's not it. I think here it is. No, that was the Pelosi thing, or Elizabeth Warren. Here it is. If you go to Vice.com, you can watch these shows. The Montreal Screwjob is up, and after we watched the story about the Montreal Screwjob, we watched the Bret Hart documentary that he made as he was leaving WWF. I can't remember the name of it, but it was very, very good. And it takes you through that whole thing and they're like documenting as the Montreal Screwjob happened. And Scott Hall is on this. Scott Hall's on it. Vince Russo's on it. Bischoff is on it. Terry Pritchard. Is it Terry? The guy that played Brother Love. He's on it. Jim Cornette is on it. Bret Hart is obviously on it. And they're talking about this whole Montreal Screwjob thing. And Cornette talks about how he was the one. He was the one that came up with the idea because they could not figure out how to get the belt off of Bret because Bret did not want to drop the belt in Canada, which I understand. Wrestling with Shadows. Thank you very much, Scotty. Which I get, but, and this is before there was still kayfabe. This is when there was still kayfabe. This is, if you guys don't know what kayfabe is protecting the business. Wrestlers, God, back in the day, the bad guys traveled together and the good guys traveled together. They weren't allowed to be seen in public together because they had to keep up the illusion that it was real, even though we knew it wasn't real. But them not saying it's not real made it more intriguing. It made it more believable. But this was really when kayfabe started to crumble. Because like right before this happened, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash had their final match as Diesel and Razor Ramon in Madison Square Garden. It was a non-televised show. It was a house show. And it was a cage match where I think it was Shawn Michaels and Triple H against Diesel and Razor. Or something like that. Well, they all ended up inside the ring together. It was the main event. And they all hugged. Diesel and Razor were bad guys. Shawn and Triple H were good guys. And then they all hugged and they did a curtain call. That's what they call it, the curtain call. They broke kayfabe. And there was repercussions about that, especially to Triple H. Not really so much for Shawn, but mostly Triple H. But that was the last day that Diesel and Ramon, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash were in the WWF before they left for WCW. But kayfabe was still running strong at that time. So Bret Hart, fast forward, a year? Something like that. Year and a half, maybe 2 years. Bret Hart had signed a 20-year deal with the WWF for much less money than he was offered with WCW. Bischoff offered him 3 years for $3 million a year or something like that. And Bret says, no, I'm going to be loyal, stick with where I got famous. And he stuck with Vince for a 20-year deal for like $1 million a year or something like that. Well, it came to be that WWF at the time was losing money. They were losing the rating wars because of the NWO. And Vince told Bret, I can't afford it. I can't afford it. So if you want to call Eric down in Atlanta, see if you can still get that deal, you have my blessing. So he did. He took it. And at the time, Bret was the heavyweight champion of WWF. And there's a time-honored tradition in professional wrestling where if you're leaving a company and you got the strap on you, you drop the strap. So you don't go to another company, or even if you go back farther, another territory, with the belt that belongs to somebody else. But Bret's last night in the WWF was in Canada, in Montreal, I believe. Scotty, Montreal, I believe. And he did not want to lose in Montreal. He did not want to lose the belt in Montreal because he's a Canadian hero. And a Canadian hero can't lose a title match in Canada against this cocky kid from San Antonio, Shawn Michaels. So if you watch Wrestling with Shadows, and then you see even more of the planning that was going into it about how they were going to do it, and the backlash that happened right after the match. See Brett and Vince talking behind closed doors. Brett was mic'd, and Vince is like, whatever you want to do, however you want to do it, we'll do a run-in. It'll be a no contest. And then you can turn the belt over on Monday night on Raw. But not knowing that prior to this, Jim Cornette, Vince Russo, and Vince McMahon were all at Vince's house trying to figure out what to do to get the belt off of him. So they decided on the screw job. They decided on the, I can't remember what the hell they called it, what Cornette was calling it. Because Cornette came out and said, oh, okay, yes, his last night was supposed to be the Raw after the pay-per-view. Vince changed the script and the screw job began. Correct. Scotty, I'm assuming that you've seen this Dark Side of the Ring, the Bret Hart one. If not, you need to see it. You can watch it on the Vice website right now. It is fucking great. So they decided on the screw job. And Brett knew that Earl Hebner was going to be the referee. And he moved him up to first class on the flight to Montreal. And he's like, you got my back, right? You're not going... Yeah. Oh, you really were living in Calgary at the time. You got my back, Earl. You're not gonna screw me. You're gonna stick to the script, yada, yada, yada. And Earl's like, yeah, of course, man. Whatever. And Earl Hebner's on this. Earl Hebner was a referee. And he's on this thing too. And he said he got pulled aside as he was walking to the ring. And got pulled aside by Jack Briscoe. And he grabbed him and goes, when Sean puts Brett in the sharpshooter, ring the bell. That's the screw job. That's what the WWF, that was what was planned. But the thing is like, not everybody was smartened up to it. Earl was smartened up. He knew. So he told his brother, he goes, go get all of my shit, put it in the car because I'm going to get out of here as soon as this thing is done. And Briscoe basically told him, was like, is Bret Hart paying your paycheck? Do you want to have a job? So look, Earl Hebner had I don't blame him for doing what he's told. It's like, do that or not have a job. I mean, what do you do? What would you do? I probably would have did the same goddamn thing. And Brother Love didn't know either, and he's one of the one of the main people behind the scenes. He had no idea. He wasn't smartened up. The only people that knew were Vince's circle and Vince Russo and Jim Cornette. So it went down. It happened. And Earl said that he was out of there faster than he was out of the building when the bell was still ringing, and he took off. And Cornette said that I got the fuck out of there too, even though he knew what was going to happen. He got the fuck out of there, and he said he saw those lights behind him. He's like, oh, that's got to be Hebner, which is hilarious, but still unfortunate. But the thing about is Scott Hall, they're talking to him. He's like, it was a work. How could it not be a work? Everybody was on it. I don't think so. And he's like, go and watch. He's like, look at his face here. Look at Brett's face here. You know that he knew. I think Brett figured something was going to happen. But Brett, being the consummate professional that he is, was going by the script that he thought was going to happen. Because it was supposed to be a run-in by Jim Neidhart or was it Davey Boy Smith and Owen Hart. And that would be the disqualification, because you cannot drop a belt due to disqualification. So Vince rings the bell. Vince makes him ring the bell. Earl Hebner disappears. And Brett looked at the camera and did the WCW letters and then just started tearing shit up after he spit on Vince. And Scott Hall's like, Vince McMahon's a TV guy. There's nothing that's going to get put on that TV without Vince's approval. Why would Vince have somebody that's leaving his company do those letters of the rival company that's beating them in the ratings and let that go out on his airwaves? And the way that the camera zoomed in on Vince after he got spit on. I'm going to say this. People's stories change over the years. Bret Hart's story has never changed. Has never changed at all. It's always been the exact same story. And Scott Hall's like, I never talked to Sean about it. We never had a conversation. Bullshit. Bullshit. You guys were friends. You guys were part of the clique. You were bros. You talked about everything. You know goddamn well. You know goddamn well you guys had a conversation. And Scott, you follow me on Twitter. You probably won't be listening to this show, but hey, you have an open invite. Yes, Scott Hall follows me, the bad guy, Scott Hall. And I love Scott Hall. Don't get me wrong. I'm not ripping on Scott Hall. Because you can't argue the way he did in the industry. And plus, he's one of the greatest of all time. But he thinks it was a work, and I disagree. And I'm going to tell you why. If that was a work, Bret Hart is the most kayfabe motherfucker that has ever walked the face of the earth. Because his story has never changed. His story has never changed. He went on, right after it happened, he went on a couple talk shows and he talked about it. And said how he got screwed. And this is when kayfabe started to crumble. That next night on Raw, Vince did that sit-down interview with Jim Ross. My God, King! My God, he's got a shiner! He's got a shiner, King! Because Bret Hart knocked him the fuck out after the show in the locker room. You see Vince walking out of his locker room and he's dazed. He can barely stand up. But, and Vince came out and talked about there's a time-honored tradition in this industry. When you leave, you drop the belt. That's the way it goes in this industry. That's out of respect to this industry. I agree with that. I completely agree with that. And that's when he said those famous words, Bret screwed Bret. And I don't know if I disagree with that either. It may suck about how it went down. But after all these years and after seeing that side of the conversation, I don't think Vince McMahon did the wrong thing. Bret was being unreasonable. I get it. You're a Hart. You have the pride. You're in Canada defending the belt on your last pay-per-view for the company. But there's an honor. There's something special about being in that industry as long as Bret Hart was. And being the top guy as long as Bret Hart was. You do the honorable thing. Vince, the reason he was leaving is because Vince says, like, fuck, I can't afford you. I can't afford this. We are losing in the ratings. We're losing money. I can't afford this. I have to cut some costs, and you're the most expensive one. I don't blame Vince for that at all. You can blame WCW for totally fucking up Bret Hart in the WCW. But that night that Bret Hart left the WWF, the Hitman died. That character died. Even though that character was Bret Hart. It's unfortunate, man. That was after Medusa, Scotty, actually. Scotty chiming in, I was expecting a wrestling I was exploring a wrestling career at the time and was trying my damnedest to get the Hearts to take me in after Montreal. Straight from WWF guys' mouths, go somewhere else because WWF won't look at you if you have the Hart name attached to you. Wow. And yes, that was after the Medusa thing. That was way after the Medusa thing. So that's what happened. And look, Scott Hall can say it was a work all he wants. I disagree. After you watch Wrestling with Shadows, and then after you watch that that show on Viceland, which I'm probably going to rewatch again. I feel I watched it twice on Wednesday night, and I'm going to watch it again on the Vice website here. It was good. It was really good. I highly recommend that if you're a wrestling geek. Watch that, man. We watched the Bruiser Brody one the other night too, and it was wow. It is so well done. And Jim Cornette is fucking hilarious. That's all I gotta say. All right, folks, that's the show for tonight. I'm gonna go watch that again as I'm watching this. Oh, maybe not. There's this tie hockey game in the third period right now. Leafs and Bruins. Go Leafs. Monday night we'll be back. Tuesday night will be another effing podcast with CJ Snare from Firehouse. It's going to be a fun show. Let me hit my outro music, please. Please support the sponsors. Please share the show, subscribe, like, hit up all the social media, like and share the social media at Real Izzy Presley and another effing podcast. Thank you, Scotty. Thanks for sticking around for the whole thing. We'll talk about the Jake E. Lee thing on Monday for Mr. Dick Chasen Jr. Buy t-shirts. I have 14 of my Cruiser Jam official Monsters of Rock Cruise t-shirts left. That link is up on all of my pages. And support the sponsors. Share the show. Buy t-shirts. What else can I say? The more you guys support the show, the more you support the sponsors, the more... Hey, if you want to just donate to the show, that's fine too. IzzyPresley@yahoo.com is your PayPal. Anything I can do to never drive Lyft again. Anyways, have a great weekend. Happy Easter. Don't forget, what I lack in talent, I do make up for in cock. My name is Izzy Presley. This has been the Izzy Presley Show via another fucking podcast.